Hey, Genki Call here with your campaign tasks and all of the goings-on for the week of July 25th, 2022. Let's start with the campaign tasks. Ta-da! Thank you so much, Hawks and Gary. This is so useful. You guys rock. So for gold, kill the Archduke 5 times. You can do that in Blighted Lands in PvP or the weekly event, which is going to be the best place to do it because it's 6 battles randomized. That's it. There are no 30 battles you have to get through. It's just he's going to show up there. Use the Diabolist class for 22 wins. This part that says Friday was left over from last week. They forgot to take it off. But okay, for silver, use a scythe weapon for 15 wins. Win 6 battles in a single arena run. Complete 3 delves at level 80 plus, and use the abyssal banner for 15 wins. For bronze, win 4 ranked PvP battles. Summon a troop 9 times. I have a team for you. Craft 1 purple summoning stone. Use a blighted lands team for 4 wins. Earn 80 souls in battle, get 13 purple kills, open 2 event chests, open 5 gem chests, and get 9 demon kills, and explore Blighted Lands 1 time at difficulty 7+. Alright, now that we've gone through that, your reward for completing campaign this week will be +2 magic, so yay for that. As for a team for summoning, oops, I already did that. Did I do the dungeon? Yes, I did. Alright, we're going over to Silverglade because that's where I like to do my farming. I already have all the trait stones I need, so I farm here for extra hero experience. But this is it. Sunbird with 2 fire bombs. You have to have the fire bombs traded to do this because they're going to destroy themselves. If you don't have the fire bombs traded, you can use Leprechaun, but you need you don't actually even need an empty space here because the Sunbird's going to take care of that. Every time he casts, it counts as a summons, but we do have a summoning weapon here just in case. But you can use the Leprechaun, you can use the fire, or whatever you like. So we'll just do this. We're going to do another summons here. And all we have to do is cast and finish this is a level 5 explore for me, but I'm going to do this because there we go. Summoner ready to collect. Hooray! Alright, so I will put that team code in the description box below. So for what you can get with your event keys, let's go ahead and go over, should we do that first? No, let's go here, because I tend to forget to do this. So this week, demons and knights get plus 10% to their skills. If there's a demon knight that you've got that you're using, that's plus 20% to their skills. And the new glory troop. So this is the new glory troop. I will go over that in just a bit, but if you take this into PvP or Explore, you'll get an extra 40 souls. So if you are, my mind, if you're soul farming, this can be good for getting some extra souls. So, the glory troop, let's go ahead and go over that. First, head into resources, and this first button here, this is actually the second time recording this because I accidentally messed up the other recording and now I can't show you, but the spoils of war here, you want to get the max amount that you can get, which is 10. That's 10 event keys for like 1800 glory, something like that, and it's a fantastic deal for event keys. You definitely want to do that every week if you can afford it. And then for weekly event, we've got the glory troop, and I already did this, but as well, unfortunately. But basically, if you're lower level, if you're higher level, you have reasons to get multiples of this. If you're lower level, these arcanes, they take so long to grind out, and there are so many troops that use purple and green and purple. You really, every week I recommend getting as many as you can afford. Just make sure that you have enough glory for next week. Just to get as many of these extra resources as you can. Also, it will say down here when you get to legendary level, when you get to mythic level. I get this up to mythic level every week, specifically so that I have a level 20 troop that or something I can ascend and get to level 20 for my power levels. And the power levels at Blighted Lands are really important because it's a magic kingdom, and what that means is that at level 10 you get +1 magic, at level 15 you get +1 magic, and also that is affected by your power levels. So, Kingdom skill bonus +2 there. The Kingdom skill is the magic, and so Kingdom skill bonus. So, really important to get the power levels up in your Magic Kingdoms, especially. You can see I am weapon blocked. That will be taken care of today in my Soulforge video. So let's go over the troops that you can get and why I recommend saving your event keys. But let's go over what troops you can get here first. So actually, let's go over the troops you can't get here. All of these troops are Blighted lands, but there are some you cannot get with your event keys, and they are the Devil. This is only available in the vault. It's a tarot card, so you can only get it in the vault. And then there are the 4 troops from Fell Roost. There's Nocturnia, the Fell Dragon, I'll go a little further, the Fell Dragon Egg, and the Undead Drake. You won't be able to get any of those 4. You have to use your Chaos Shards down at Fell Roost to get those. And the last one you can't get is the Doom of Flame. So the Dooms are only available from the Tower of Doom events, which, you know, they're spaced like 11 or 12 weeks apart. That they happen between campaigns. So yeah, you can't get that one either. So let's go over what you can get. We've got Amnesia, who is basically just a mana generator for 22 mana. Absolutely needs to be buffed. She's I used her yesterday in team building roulette. She was my only mana generator. I was happy to have her, but for 22 cost for the mana gen, Infernal King is a lot more useful than she is, in my opinion. But you know, she's really not a great mythic, in my opinion. The Archduke can be fun, but you have to have a high magic for him to really be useful. He does an insta-kill if he has a high enough magic. Now, right now, this is based on magic, so there's a 37% chance to insta-kill. I put him on a team that will jump up because of the class and whatnot. That will jump up. Also, he gets +3 magic every time his turn begins. And there are other ways to raise the magic as well, but you've got to have a high enough chance to use him. Using him in delves will raise that percentage chance, so he's more useful in delves than just out in general if you have a lower magic because of your horde boost. But I like him, I do, but he's really better for longer battles because you gotta wait for his magic to get high enough to insta-kill. Alright, then we have Baphomet, who can be useful. He does damage to 3 random enemies, and if they're burning, he does double damage. That can be really useful if you're using fire gems. So like with the Magma Dragon. Yeah, he'd be fun with the Magma Dragon. Or Infernus that burns all enemies on match 4s. That kind of thing. Also, if he's at the front of the team, he has no skull damage reduction, but he does do triple skull damage versus burning enemies. So if you don't have Fireblade, you've got him, but again, no skull damage reduction. Dark Monolith, he does damage to the 2 weakest enemies and double damage if he himself is damaged. That does not mean his armor, that means his actual life. So if you're running against something that does true damage, he'll do double damage to 2 enemies. He does have skull damage reduction and gets 3 magic whenever an enemy casts a spell. So, oh, he's okay. Infernal King, he's more of an annoyance to fight than anything else because of this 25% chance to resurrect. You know, pet battles. Those pet rescues fighting Blighted Lands troops. I've had him resurrect 6 times in one battle. Anyway, he is a double mana converter, and I don't see him used very often. It's green to skulls and brown to red, plus a little bit of scatter damage. I think I'm gonna, if I can remember, I will create a team that will have synergy with another double mana converter, because he just doesn't get used that much. Anyway, moving on. Desdemona has gotten double buff this week. The pet rescue that we're going to do is Desdemona's familiar. It's going to buff her specifically. And also there's a weapon that came out in the Soulforge. I'll go over that in the Soulforge video. That also buffs her. She does true damage to an enemy, double damage if they use yellow mana, and get an extra turn if they are a demon. So also does double skull damage versus demons, and has a 50% chance to ignore their armor. That means true damage with skulls, but she has no skull damage reduction. So I personally wouldn't put her at the front of the team. Arenas summons a meat shield, basically, and then transforms a selected mana color to purple. Does not feed back into herself. And the quasits are the common here. The purple will feed the quasits, but they're random. You don't know whether they're going to remove armor, life, magic, or attack. So I really don't like that randomized effect. You know, if you have them on your team and you've got mana, you might as well cast them if you've got nothing else to do. Anyway, let's see. So going back down here, can't get Helgor the Guardian, gains armor and life, creates mana potions, and if any enemy is burning, there's a 50% chance to get an extra turn. So that's banking on the whole fire theme of Blighted lands. He does burn enemy when doing skull damage. He doesn't reduce skull damage, but he does reduce spell damage and reflects. Again, we've got that infernal armor. If you do a lot of armor, or if you do a lot of damage with skulls, this can actually kill you if you're at really, really high levels. Especially like you're running Archer on something that's level, got 500 attack and 500 armor and all that stuff. It can kill you, that 25%. Anyway, I digress. Hellcat. Transform a selected mana color to red and deal damage to a random enemy. It's great that you can choose what color gets transformed to red. That's helpful. Again, we've got burn enemies when doing skull damage, but no skull damage reduction. Our new troop, the Herald of Blight. Let me just upgrade this real quickly. Got it to mythic level. Yay! And I'm going to, I can spend one celestial. I'm okay with that. I just don't like to spend 2 or more. I'm chintzy with those things, so they're hard to get. All right, so let me get this maxed out. Okie dokie. So, what does this new Herald of Blight do? She destroys a row, curses and diseases the first 2 enemies, then does damage to them boosted by green gems destroyed. So, you destroy one row, say there are 3 green gems on the row, you'll do an extra 9 damage. It's not a lot, but it is to both enemies. So, she's not terrible. She does inflict death mark when doing skull damage. Oh, I hate fighting these things in the first slot. She does get some little tiny extra buff if she's in the first slot and reduces damage. This one actually has skull damage reduction, which is nice. Not much, but a little bit. Then we have the Herald. We've got all the Heralds. So the Herald of Chaos destroys a row, does damage to the first enemy, and eliminates 39 points of a random skill. Again, the randomness. This could be magic, attack, life, or armor. We just don't know. So, and then it's boosted by blue gems destroyed. This time it's a ×2 ratio. The other one was ×3. And again, with the death mark, I bet all of them do death mark. Oh no, maybe, yes, they all do death mark. Yep, all of the heralds do death mark with skull damage. Okay. I just went over that one. Herald of Damnation. Convert blue gems to purple. Curse and burn the strongest enemy. The reason that this one is really significant is because he's empowered. He starts mana with full battle, so really a pain to fight on Guild Wars Day. People throw him up at the front of the team, transform things away. You do the skull damage and you're inflicting death mark, so Herald of Woe. Destroy a row, gain 19 attack and armor. Well, for me it's 19, so it's like half of your magic. Gain attack and armor boosted by brown gems destroyed. This time it's with a ×5 boost ratio. So if you have 3 brown gems on the row, you're going to get plus 15 to this number. So, eh. Anyway, Lamashtu, another empowered mana converter. So, convert yellow to purple, deal damage to the weakest enemy. She's empowered. She's another one that's really annoying to fight on Guild Wars Day because those double mana converters, I mean, not, I keep saying double mana converters, they use 2 mana converters, but yep. Yellow to purple, and then this other one is not that one. Blue to purple. Yep, it's really good Guild Wars defense, but it's annoying to fight. Lucifria does damage to an enemy. She is our God Slayer for Blighted Lands, so she's going to do 3 to 5 times damage with her spell. She can also do it with her traits with skulls. But if you don't have her at the front of the team, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is for all of the God Slayers. That is for Zul'Goth. That's for Enraged Kurandara. Anything with a red border. The ones from down in the dungeon, Hatir Ascendant, all those. She will do this 3 to 5 times damage. So 3 times at epic rarity, base rarity, legendary will get you 4 times, and at mythic it will get you 5 times that damage. We should also have a siege breaker in here. It does the same kind of thing. Next up is Sir Mordain, and this is a siege breaker, so same deal, 3 to 5 times damage. This is on all towers, including Leonis Tower that you fight in PvP. And yeah, good to have these both maxed out for when those events come around. Van Barak is actually really powerful for an epic. Damage to all enemies, just the damage to all enemies is quite a bit of damage, especially if you throw it on a quick delve team. Really super useful. 75% chance to disease all enemies. That means it halves the troops or halves the mana that they get. So if they make a match 4, they're only getting 2 of that mana instead of 4. Also, you gain bonus purple mana, which is super, super helpful, and deals double skull damage versus diseased enemies. I've never put her at the front of the team myself, but yeah. Bone Demon, 44, sorry, again, it's based on magic. Deal damage to an enemy, double damage if there's a bone storm, and he creates a bone storm. Again, with the death mark. Ayah. Next up is Gate of Souls. Curse an enemy and drain life from them, boosted by my souls, then shift it to my armor. I've tried using him on a soul farming team and I was underwhelmed, but I just didn't give it much of a chance. It does reflect some skull damage and also skull damage reduction by 50%, which is helpful. Incubus, I hate fighting this thing. This guy is why I don't like to cast with Lust, because she might change them into an incubus. Charm 2 random enemies. I hate it when they make me kill my own team. I don't like that. And yet I never use him on my teams. He's immune to death mark though, so that's nice. The succubus is another one that Lust will transform troops into. She drains mana and places a death mark. She can summon something to replace her. Twisted Hero creates 5 red gems and 5 purple gems, straight up, just 5, even if you are webbed. Then gives points of a random skill to a random ally. You know, you could run this with the Archduke. It might hit magic. It might hit him. It's so random. I hate that. I hate that random. Double skull damage versus death marked enemies. Blightwing, I've never ever used this troop. Damage to an enemy, if they're diseased, explode 3 green gems, and if they're burning, explode 3 red gems. So if they're burning and diseased, then it'll do 3 of each. Oh, it's a bounty hunter. Huh. It's a bounty troop, and that would explain why I've never used it, because this just doesn't seem very useful for bounty, but yeah. Hellhound. Damage to a random enemy and either burn or disease them. The rest of these, Nightmare creates red, 5 red gems, plus an extra 3 red gems for every burning enemy. So it can create some mana for you if you're kind of forced to use it and you have the burn. and we already went over this. Creeper, damage to one enemy and disease them. So, reasons why you might want to use your event keys would be the 2 troops that are empowered mana converters, and getting a mythic, possibly getting a mythic to get your power level up here, because it is significant. However, I am going to recommend that you save your event keys for next week. We are going back to Hellgate. And why would I recommend using them, your event keys for Hellgate? I wouldn't necessarily. However, we have a new trip coming out next week. Next Friday is Mythic Friday, and that Mythic will be for Hellcrag. And that's a possibility to get a Mythic from Hellcrag with your event keys instead of using your other keys. So if you want to save your event keys for next week and use them starting Friday, you will have a chance to get Tourmaline, the new mythic, with your event keys. So that's what I've got for you on that. So let's go over events for the week. Starting tomorrow, we have Fell Roost Faction Assault. And then we have Desdemona's Familiar, which I already mentioned, on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have the Diabolist class trial. And then this weekend, we have a vault event. Whee! I love vault events. They're so fun. Love the vault events. So it's going to be a busy weekend. Otherwise, compared to last week, pretty quiet. And yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. It's going to be great because we have a vault event. So anyway, next up we will have the Soulforge video and the World Event video coming up. That's redundant, but you'll get the point. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye!